this is Ragu from Batam. I love listening to Gold FM, only the classic hits.
I'm Sela Sadakau from Vatukola. I only listen to Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Gold Benaka, I'm Vale and I'm working at Golden Pearl Resort, and I love listening to Gold FM because it plays a really wide range of classic music.
I'm Saini Sakio from Kashmir Lotoka. I like Gold FM, but only the classic hits.
Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Good evening, I'm Amrita Priyadarshini. This is FBC News. Tonight, 36 people investigated for lying about cyclone damage and obtaining government assistance. Immigration Department sounds warnings over bogus travel agents. And new selection of Fiji flags out for public scrutiny next month. "36 cases of people are being investigated for abusing the government's Help for Homes initiative. 2 have already been charged and brought to court in Ba. Attorney General Ayaz Sayed Qayyum and Police Commissioner Brigadier General Sitiveni Giloho have warned any abuse of government assistance won't go unpunished. Kelly Vadala has the details.
Thousands of Fijians have been assisted under the Help for Home initiative. However, some individuals have tried to gain from the assistance meant for people left devastated by Tropical Cyclone Winston.
The Ministry of Finance has, in fact, assessed about 36 cases or incidences that where some anomalies or irregularities were identified, and those cases have in fact been forwarded to the Commissioner of Police and his office, and they are carrying out various investigations. Generally, to once again highlight to individual members of the public to please ensure that you fill out your declaration honestly and truthfully, because at the end of the day you will get caught.
These 36 are believed to have lied about the damage to their homes and received as much as 15,000 taxpayers' dollars. Police Commissioner Brigadier General Sitiveni Giloho says they've already made progress on the investigations.
We have 17 files open now in regards to 17 of the cases out of the 36 that were reported to us. So the first 2 of those cases will be produced in the Mba courts at 1700 hours this afternoon, and the remainder of the 17 we will process them and produce them in court. And we should have them all before the courts by Wednesday next week, while we continue verifications on the remainder of the 36 cases and see how we progress from there towards the courts.
An audit team from the Finance Ministry is visiting communities to ascertain whether applicants have made truthful applications under the Help for Homes initiative. This is how the current 36 were found to have houses still standing with minimal damage. Kelly Vadala, FBC News.
2 men have been charged for allegedly taking advantage of the Fiji National Provident Fund TC Winston relief assistance. 32-year-old Amos Rongoyawa and 22-year-old Gabriel Lendua appeared in the Suva Magistrates Court this afternoon. They are alleged to have filed fraudulent applications under the FNPF scheme. The 2 allegedly obtained $5,000 from the account of a 32-year-old FNPF member who now resides in Brisbane, Australia. They face charges of conspiracy to obtain property by deception and 2 counts of forgery. Police spokesperson Anna Naisora confirms this is the first case of non-FNPF employees charged for allegedly abusing the cyclone relief assistance. Fijians applying for passports are being advised to apply directly through the Immigration Department or a fully registered and licensed travel agent. The Department of Immigration says that several complaints have been received concerning unprocessed applications and documents lodged through independent agents. Akosita Tale reports this is becoming a concern.
The Immigration Department has received complaints about passport applications made through travel agents. Director Nemani Vuniwanga says some people are left waiting weeks or even months for their documents to be processed.
Fingers are pointed at the Department of Immigration. You have not issued us with our passport. I have applied for this passport a couple of months ago, and yet I'm still waiting for it. But eventually, after investigations are conducted, we found out that that application did not reach the immigration office. It did not reach us because it was not lodged at an immigration office.
Vuniwanga is advising those applying to lodge their papers with immigration offices around the country.
When we say a normal issuance is for 5 working days, they pay a fee of $72 and will issue the book in 5 working days. We'll have to issue the book in 5 working days, and we make sure that we meet that timeline.
However, licensed travel agents say it's usually not legitimate businesses which hang on to applications.
Go and see immigration directly, or else go to registered travel agents. Apart from roadside travel agents, check the creditability of the person who's talking to you. People are sweet talkers in terms of getting visas, getting passports and all, so just be careful.
I advise people, pass messages on this, that how it can be sorted out, and that the people should come to licensed agents, not go to anybody and pay much money, give documents and wait for years and years for the reasons whereby it just takes few weeks to get processed and doesn't take much money for the application to be processed.
People are being advised to tread carefully in trying to get passport applications or any other travel documents. Ako si Tatalei, FBC News.
Fijians will have a chance to scrutinize the new selection of flags which go on display from next month. Deputy Secretary for Itoke Affairs, Saimoni Waimbuta, says we must ensure that the new Fiji flag and its symbols relate to Fiji's diversity and heritage.
Consultations in the West have helped gain more support for a change of the national flag. According to the Prime Minister's office, there is still some misinformation among the community, which is creating opposition to the change.
The main reason for changing the national flag in 1970 was independence, as well as Fiji being declared a republic. From then until now, nothing has changed. The meaning of the symbols in the current flag was explained to Fijians, and many of them now support the need to change the existing flag.
The government says it's adopting the same method that used to select the current flag.
It went through a competition in 1970 when Fiji needed a new flag to be raised on the 10th of October 1970. There was also a competition which was supervised by a committee, and a few people, they put in their submissions, their proposals for the new flag and its symbols and its color, and that's where we are now. So that the flag that we are currently using, it's a flag which won that competition in 1970. Yeah?
The 5 selected options will be made public next month, and people will be able to submit their response to the government. The color of the flag will remain. Sabira Tambua, FBC News.
Coming up on FBC News, reducing salt intake to fight against non-communicable diseases. And farming assistance for cyclone-affected communities bears fruit. Stay with us.
FM rocks.
My name is Denasa and I'm from Lutoka and I love listening to Today FM.
My name is Ulamila. I work at Golden Point Resort. I love listening to Today FM. It rocks in Raki Raki.
I'm Mary from Mandera. I love listening to Today FM. Today FM rocks.
We love listening to Today FM. Today FM rocks.
Today's hit music on Today FM.
Welcome back. You're with FBC News. Now, the Health Ministry is advising people to read the labels on canned food to be aware of the amount of salt. At the launch of Salt Reduction Awareness Week today, children were told just how dangerous salty foods can be. Ellen Stoltz tells us more.
A week-long campaign by the Health Ministry in conjunction with the Ministry of Education was launched in Suva this morning with the message, read food labels and look out for hidden salts.
We are continuing to empower people to make right choices of what they eat and what they drink and what they do, which is very important for our wellness campaign.
Illnesses such as high blood pressure, kidney problems and stroke are closely linked to the amount of salt people consume. While many people are aware that healthy fruits and vegetables is essential for a healthier lifestyle, Dr. Tukana says some are not aware of the hidden salts that exist in the food they eat.
Most of our foods in the supermarket, noodles, for example, some of the tinned fish and tinned tuna contain salts as a preservative, and it's very important for the public to be educated on this.
He says, however, the price is also a factor because foods with higher salt content are cheaper. Non-communicable diseases remain the biggest killer of people in Fiji and the Pacific, but educating the younger generation is expected to help change this reality. Ellen Stalls, FBC News.
Public consultations on the sugarcane industry reform bill ended today. Around 90 written and oral submissions were received by the Parliamentary Committee on Economic Affairs over the last 3 weeks. Deputy Chair MP Vijay Nath says some of the concerns include the high cost of transportation to mills and the continued challenge of finding labour during harvests.
Most of the individual submitters, what they say, they were not happy with the field officer's response towards them. That's why they've been writing to PM's office for requesting assistance. So we have seen that this bill, which is in place, which looks into it in terms of reform, where the powers will be given to the Ministry of Sugar, and they were happy on that few occasions.
The committee is expected to finalise their report on the bill to be tabled in Parliament next week. Farming assistance to villages affected by Tropical Cyclone Winston has helped ease food security needs. The United Nations Development Fund and the Ministry of Agriculture provided seedlings and equipment in the hopes that Fijians would bounce back immediately. Ali Kimbia toured Sayoko village in the interior of Ra and files this report.
3 months after Tropical Cyclone Winston, people in Sayoko Ra are seeing their hard work bear fruit. Village Chairman Joeli Nadama says more than 300 farmers are slowly getting back on their feet.
After the cyclone, we hardly ate anything from our farms, not even a root crop or vegetables. But when the assistance we provided by the UNDP and the Ministry of Agriculture, we are happy because now we are eating vegetables again. And for root crop, I guess we have to wait for next month.
Farmers were encouraged to get back into the routine and replant everything that was lost. UNDP Deputy Resident Representative Akiko Yuji says the turnaround from TC Winston is quite promising.
I have seen today is really the result of the partnership between the different, of course, community members, but also UNDP and the Ministry of Agriculture and other ministry officials as well, who really devoted their time and effort to encourage, I think, the community to come up with the much-needed production in the farmlands.
Instead of traveling 2 hours to their farms, it is this assistance that has helped villagers of Sayoko do their own farming beside their homes. These are small subsistence farms, a temporary measure to help farmers in Sayoko village get back on their feet before returning to large-scale farming. Ali Kimbia, FBC News.
Fiji's inflation rate is not determined by domestic forces in the medium and long term. Economic professor at the Fiji National University, Chandra Dulare, says in the first quarter, inflation is usually high because of adverse weather conditions and higher vegetable and food prices. However, he says this doesn't last long.
It's in the short term only when you have natural disasters and a shortage of supply of food items. It's only then that you have inflation being affected by domestic forces. But in the medium and long term, it is foreign forces. Inflation is determined almost wholly, fully by foreign inflation, not anything domestic.
Inflation was 0.8% in March compared with 1.2% in February. RBF says the year-end inflation is projected at around 2%. Suva on Sale was launched by local government minister Parveen Bala today. The 8-day event begins on 4th of next month, which will have more than 70 stalls. It boasts discounted prices for the benefit of consumers.
This year, so on sale will be in greater heights because we are adding ticket draws, which has never been done before, and we are encouraging all the retailers to put a quality stuff at a marked down price. It will be for the whole day from 8 to 6 p.m. and it will go on for 8 days.
Is returning after 4 years. Well, we join Jamie now for sports.
Thanks, Amrita, and good evening. In sports after the break, World Series winners Fiji finish off 4th in London. And FNRL launch its first primary schools competition. This and more coming up.
Tua, Aonia Saurara, although we will take you on a TV and a market Tawa. Although Talitagana, Warrona, Bula FM, and number 2 and a set.
Pulabana Viti, Nadago Palacio Materia, one of my Nana Bulo Tabiuni, Ausatuga Nandi, and the Talita na Warrongo and a Bula FM.
Bula FM, number 2 and set.
A national celebration is being planned for the Vodafone Fiji Sevens team when they return home on Wednesday. Minister for Sports Laisinia Tuitumbo congratulated the side for securing the World 7 Series title once again and says the team will need Fiji's continued support all the way to the Rio Olympics. Vasnil Prasad has more.
This is the moment that the whole country had been waiting for. The hard work of the Fiji Sevens team paying off. This is the first Fijian team to win back-to-back titles, and the Minister Laisinia Tuitumbo says celebrations are in order.
Government has done it to our cricket who were successful in the World Series, to our soccer reps who are qualified to play in Rio, and of course I think I have no doubt government will assist them to give them bonus for the achievements they have done.
Fiji Rugby Union Chief Executive Officer John O'Connor says players will be rewarded for the achievement.
Performance. The bonus requirement is part of the contract. It's specified in the contract with Vodafone. We currently having discussions with Vodafone to see what we will address, how will we address the requirements there in the contract.
A Thanksgiving ceremony will be held in Suva on Wednesday afternoon, and Tuitumbo says all fans should turn up to congratulate the champions.
Boys need our support. Members of all the communities need the support of the boys. I have made a commitment. We know Lusa will support them, and I wait and hail and farewell them.
This series slip away.
The series title is sure to have lifted confidence levels, but the love and support of loyal fans is sure to add to the momentum for gold in Rio. Vasnil Prasad, FBC Sports.
Meanwhile, the Vodafone Fiji Sevens side had to settle for 4th place at the London Sevens after losing 26-19 to the United States. The Americans were on fire from the get-go and had Fiji playing catch-up for 14 minutes. Vasnil Prasad reports.
Well, Perry Baker will start this one.
The 3rd and 4th place playoff match was more or less a formality for the Fiji Sevens side. Straight off the mark, USA got the momentum with its first try through Martin Yusefo.
A catch, Jerry Chuai. Well, what happened there? They're looking at one another.
Minutes later, Ben Pinkelman brushed aside the Fijian defense as USA took a firm 14-0 lead.
Through again from USA. This time it's Ben Pinkelman.
4 minutes into the game, Kitione Talinga scooped Fiji's
they don't
first
come much
try.
better than this young man, Kitione Talinga.
However, US speed star Perry Baker extended the lead
for the first time, and it's inevitable.
With some sensational offloading by the Fijians, Talinga got his second try under the post. USA led 19-14 at the halftime.
Well, the man on the spot once again is Kitione Talinga.
The second spell was a tight half, ever improving Chasa Veremalua with the solo try equalized the score at 19.
Salis Saravi and William Ryder get away from me. says Big Jasavara Malua.
The United States had the last say as Madison Hughes dived in for the fourth try.
The kick and the chase.
Fiji lost 26-19 and finished fourth in London. Vashnil Prasad, FBC Sports.
Earlier on, Fiji were bundled out of the Cup semi-finals, going down to South Africa 26-21. Fiji's tries coming through Kichwane Talinga, Hosea Kolinisau and Apisai Ndomolailai.
Lost forward advantage Fiji, says referee Mike Adamson. Getting into his stride here is Kitione Talinga. Giving chase is Kankowski, but he won't catch the Fijian. Kitione Talinga. Got some pace too, some power, some strength. Look at this, look at this. Timagaba! It's still there for Nayato Lebu. The offload to the captain Kolinisau was in at the corner when he wants to make his conversion attempt a little easier, rounded almost under the step. Somewhere now then, Dylan Sage steps inside. Can he get away using his strength? Beckman, such a danger from the base of the scrum. The bounce this time. This is Talinga. Oh, this is lovely stuff from Fiji. Domilailai, one more pass. No. Doesn't need Jasavara Malua. The big guy, Apisa Domilailai.
Fiji ended the 2015-16 season in style with 181 points on the World Series table. The side becomes the first Fijian team to win the series title back-to-back. South Africa finished 10 points below Fiji in second spot, followed by New Zealand in third and Australia in fourth, while Pacific neighbours and Paris winners Samoa finished ninth. Fiji 7-star Tasa Verumalua has been crowned the DHL Impact Player of the Year. The sensational player recorded 115 tackles, 38 line breaks, 66 offloads and 127 ball carries this season. South Africa's Sibalo Sinatla finished at the season's top try scorer, and Australia's Henry Hutchison was awarded the Rookie of the Year. Verumalua also made the World 7 Series Dream Team alongside captain Hosea Kolinisau and fellow Fijian French representative Vrimi Vaktawa. Scotland created history at Twickenham this morning, winning its first World Series Cup title, beating South Africa 27-26. The Scots trailed 26-15 with 30 seconds left, but Edinburgh wing Dougie Fife scored twice to steal the win.
Dropping ball into Sinatla, and Sinatla.
Advantage.
And it's advantage to Scotland, and they race away. Found out. On. O'Connor has had a wonderful season, 15s and 7s, playing here in England. Scotland with a driving goal. You don't often see this in 7s. Beckman, he's already scored one in the final. He's going to score two. Right, just needs to give the pass to Fife. Scotland are there. That's 5 back for Scotland. Again, they got numbers on the right side. They don't need them.
Meanwhile, New Zealand won the plate, Wales won bowl and Kenya settled for shield. Fiji's first primary schools rugby league competition will be held this Saturday. 33 teams from 12 different primary schools will compete in a 9-a-side rugby league tournament. There will be 3 tiers in the boys division and 2 in the girls.
We would like to have a good foundation from primary school. We've got premier and secondary running already, but that's the missing link, which is the primary school level. So if we have good basis and good introduction of the game, we should have a very good team coming 2021 and 2025.
The competition starts at 9:30 a.m. at the USP grounds in Suva. The Vodafone Fiji football team knows the match against New Zealand will be its most important at the OFC Nations Cup. Team director Taranesh Reddy says the first match is always crucial and the national team will do its best. Reddy adds the Kiwis will not be easy to beat, but the Fijians have given the New Zealanders a tough time in the past and will try to do the same this weekend. The team flies out to Papua New Guinea on Thursday and will play New Zealand at 6 p.m. on Saturday. You can watch that match live on FBC TV. That's it from sports this evening. It's back to Amrita now with business.
Encouraging local talent is the main aim of Project Chechemon, a fashion and design show run by the Fiji Broadcasting Corporation. Registrations open today for those who want to be part of the 2016 show to find Fiji's next top fashion designer and model. FBC Chief Executive Riyaz Said Qayyum says this is a chance to nurture the passion of those who want a career in the fashion industry.
This is really putting the Fiji-made brand out there. It encourages people, and that's what we like. It encourages people to do something different, to be useful, to do stuff that maybe they've never thought of before, and to be able to encourage that through a show that is produced locally here, made in Fiji by FBC. It's a great thing for us.
There will be 5 categories in the Project Chechemon Designer of the Year Awards. Designer and model registrations close on July 1st. Mainly fine weather prevailed over most parts of the country today. Lambasa topped the temperature chart today at 32 degrees, but other centres weren't too far behind. Now, tomorrow's forecast is for fine weather in the morning, giving way to brief showers over most places in the afternoon. As for Wednesday, brief showers over the eastern parts and interior of the larger islands. Elsewhere, it should be fine apart from isolated afternoon or evening showers. Southerly winds 10 to 15 knots and moderate seas are expected, damaging heavily southerly swells abating. Recapping the headlines. 36 people have been found to have made false declarations in order to secure government funds under the Help for Homes initiative. The Immigration Department warns against using dodgy travel agents. And national celebrations planned for victorious Fiji Sevens team. For these stories and others, you can tune in daily to our sister radio station, Gold FM. On to results from last week's poll question. And we had asked, should Jared Hayne be included in the Sevens team for Olympics? 70% of respondents answered in the affirmative. This week we ask, is salt intake becoming a major health concern? To answer, visit our FBC website. Now you can send us newsworthy pictures and videos on email, citizenseyes@fbc.com.fj, or share it with us via our Facebook page, FBC News. If you're on Twitter, follow and tweet us your news tips at FBC News or hashtag FBC News. You've been watching FBC News. Good night.